Have you ever stopped mid-snack and asked yourself, is this little handful helping me or quietly hurting me? Why do some people feel stronger, more alert, and more mobile as they age, while others struggle with joint pain, brain fog, and balance issues? Could the difference lie in something as small and seemingly harmless as the nuts we choose to eat each day? You've probably heard that nuts are heart-healthy, but did you know that not all nuts are created equal, especially after age 65? Some may strengthen your bones, boost your memory, and even help you sleep better, while others can disrupt your medications, weaken your muscles, and quietly chip away at your independence. Today, we're going to explore the powerful, surprising truth about nuts, which ones to embrace, which ones to avoid, and how just one small daily habit can change everything. So grab your notepad, or better yet, a handful of the right nuts, and let's dive into the eye-opening world of nut wisdom made just for you. Number 1. The truth about nuts. After 65. Let's start with a simple truth. Not all healthy snacks are healthy for you, especially after 65. Most of us have heard that nuts are good for the heart, and yes, many are. But did you know that the same handful of nuts that helps a 30-year-old jogger might actually cause problems for someone in their 70s managing high blood pressure, brittle bones, or medications? That's where our story begins, not with fear, but with awareness. You see, as we age, our bodies change. Our metabolism slows, our digestive system becomes more sensitive, and our ability to detoxify weakens. That means what we eat matters more than ever. Certain nuts can quietly build up inflammation, disrupt medications, or even raise our risk of falls and fractures. Others, on the flip side, can strengthen bones, protect memory, and give us the energy to enjoy life a little more each day. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold, a cheerful 72-year-old from Missouri. He used to snack on mixed nuts every afternoon, peanuts, cashews, and a few chocolate-covered treats for fun. He thought he was making a healthy choice, but over time his arthritis flared up, his digestion worsened, and he started feeling foggy in the evenings. After a checkup and a closer look at his diet, his doctor recommended cutting back on certain nuts and adding more almonds and walnuts instead. Within 2 months, Harold noticed less stiffness in his knees, steadier energy, and even fewer nighttime bathroom trips. "I didn't think a little snack could matter," he said, but it did. The lesson here? One small change can have a big impact, especially when it's consistent. Knowing which nuts support your body and which ones silently work against it is a powerful step toward staying strong, independent, and full of life. You don't need to give up snacking. You just need to snack smarter. In this video, we're going to walk through the top 3 nuts to avoid after 65, and the 3 nuts you'll want to keep close at hand. We'll break down the why in simple terms, share inspiring stories from people just like you, and give you easy tips to make healthier choices without sacrificing flavor or joy. Because taking care of your health shouldn't be overwhelming. It should feel like something you want to do. So if you've ever looked at your pantry and wondered, what's really good for me now? You're in the right place. Let's start our nut journey with one of the most common and most misunderstood choices on the list. Coming up next, why peanuts might not be the safe snack you've always believed. Number 2. Peanuts. The affordable snack with hidden dangers. Let's talk about peanuts. They're everywhere. At ball games, on airplanes, mixed into trail mix, even sitting in bowls on your kitchen counter. For many of us, peanuts have been a comforting snack since childhood. They're affordable, easy to find, and often labeled as heart-healthy. So it might surprise you to hear that for older adults, especially those over 65, peanuts can quietly become more of a risk than a reward. Here's the first twist. Peanuts aren't technically nuts, they're legumes. That means they grow underground, not on trees like almonds or walnuts. Why does that matter? because being underground exposes peanuts to a higher risk of mold contamination, specifically from a toxin called aflatoxin. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, aflatoxin is a known carcinogen that can accumulate in the liver over time, especially in older adults whose detox systems have slowed down. Let me share the story of Martha, a 68-year-old grandmother from Georgia. She loved her afternoon snack, a peanut butter sandwich with sweet tea. But she started experiencing frequent stomach issues, low energy, and joint pain. Her doctor found early signs of fatty liver and inflammation. When they looked closer at her diet, they pinpointed the culprit: highly processed peanut butter. It wasn't just the peanuts, but the added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and salt that were contributing to her health issues. When Martha switched to almond butter and added more whole foods to her diet, her symptoms improved within a few weeks. Another issue with peanuts is their high omega-6 fatty acid content. While our bodies do need some omega-6, too much, especially without enough omega-3s to balance it, can lead to chronic inflammation. This kind of inflammation is sneaky. It doesn't show up like a fever or rash, but it slowly wears down your joints, weakens muscles, and can even contribute to memory loss. And if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, peanuts contain vitamin K, which can interfere with how your medication works. That could increase your risk of dangerous clots or, on the flip side, uncontrolled bleeding. Always worth double-checking with your doctor or pharmacist before making peanuts a daily habit. So what's the takeaway here? Peanuts may seem harmless, but if you're over 65, they come with risks that are easy to overlook. Especially in processed forms like peanut butter or flavored nut mixes, the additives and long-term effects can quietly chip away at your health. But don't worry, you don't have to give up snacking altogether. There are better, safer, and more nourishing options out there. And one of the best places to start? With a nut that may seem luxurious, but carries its own silent risks. Coming up next, the surprising truth about cashews and what they may be doing to your bones and blood sugar. Stay tuned.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 3, cashews. Sweet, soft, and potentially sabotaging your bones. Cashews, and they're the smooth, buttery stars of nut mixes. Their mild flavor and creamy texture make them feel like a little indulgence, and for many older adults, they're a go-to snack that feels both fancy and healthy enough. But here's the catch. Cashews, despite their reputation, might be doing more harm than good for seniors, especially when it comes to bone health, blood sugar, and kidney function. First, let's talk bones. After age 65, especially for women, bone density naturally begins to decline. That makes calcium more important than ever. But cashews are high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind with calcium in your gut and prevent it from being absorbed. Instead of going to your bones where it's needed, calcium is flushed out of your body. Over time, that can lead to weaker bones and a higher risk of fractures, even from minor falls. Here's a real-life story. Margaret, a 70-year-old widow from Arizona, was shocked when she fractured her wrist just by bracing herself during a stumble. She ate well, took her supplements, and stayed active. But when she mentioned her daily cashew habit, nearly a cup a day, her dietitian raised a red flag. With her high oxalate intake and low calcium absorption, Margaret wasn't getting the bone-building benefits she thought she was. She cut back on cashews, added more calcium-rich low-oxalate foods like almonds and leafy greens, and hasn't had a fracture since. Cashews also have a surprisingly high glycemic index for a nut. That means they can cause quick spikes in your blood sugar. For seniors with diabetes or even mild insulin resistance, this is risky business. These sugar spikes can damage small blood vessels, especially in the feet and eyes, and over time, They contribute to slow wound healing and even nerve damage. And there's more. Those same oxalates that block calcium can also build up in your kidneys, forming painful kidney stones. Seniors who don't drink enough water, take certain medications, or have a history of urinary issues may be especially at risk. Kidney stones aren't just uncomfortable. They can lead to infections or even surgery, which is never easy on an older body. So what's the lesson here? Just because something tastes smooth and sweet doesn't mean it's gentle on your system. Cashews might look harmless, but for older adults, they can quietly sabotage your bones, disrupt blood sugar, and put stress on your kidneys. If you love the flavor, enjoy them in small amounts, no more than a small handful once or twice a week. But don't rely on cashews as your go-to daily snack. Looking for a better option to satisfy your cravings while protecting your health? Up next, we're turning to a nut that might surprise you. It's tiny, elegant, and often used in gourmet dishes. But for seniors, pine nuts could carry more risks than rewards. Let's dig in. Number 4. Pine nuts, the fancy nut that can mess with your meds. Pine nuts. Just hearing the name brings to mind upscale salads, elegant pesto sauces, and fancy cheese boards. These tiny ivory-colored seeds, yes, they're technically seeds, are often seen as a premium nut choice. But for older adults, especially those managing medications or sensitive digestive systems, pine nuts might not be worth the gourmet glow. Let's start with something many people don't realize. Pine nuts can interact with how your body processes medication. According to clinical nutrition research, compounds in pine nuts can affect liver enzymes, particularly the ones responsible for breaking down medications like blood pressure pills, antidepressants, and statins. If your liver slows down this process, those medications can stay in your bloodstream longer than they should. The result? Unexpected side effects like sudden drops in blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or even increased risk of falls. Consider Mr. Allen, a retired firefighter from Ohio. He loved sprinkling pine nuts over his pasta and into his morning smoothies. But after experiencing dizzy spells and one fainting episode, his doctor reviewed his diet and medications. Once pine nuts were eliminated and his liver enzymes normalized, the dizziness stopped. It turned out the nuts were throwing off his medication levels quietly and dangerously. And then there's something called pine mouth, a strange side effect that affects some people after eating oxidized or low-quality pine nuts. Within a day or two, everything you eat starts to taste metallic. And this odd taste can last for a week or more. For seniors, this isn't just annoying. It can suppress appetite, make food unappealing, and lead to unintentional weight loss or nutritional deficiencies. That's a serious issue if you're already struggling to maintain muscle mass or recover from illness. Another hidden issue? Pine nuts are high in fragile fats that easily oxidize when exposed to air or heat. Once oxidized, these fats create free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage brain cells, weaken nerves, and even speed up memory decline. Oxidative stress, as researchers call it, is a major contributor to cognitive aging. And let's not forget safety. Pine nuts are tiny, smooth, and slick, a choking risk for anyone with dentures, dry mouth, or difficulty swallowing. One misstep while eating could turn a quiet afternoon snack into a medical emergency. So what's the takeaway? While pine nuts may add a touch of class to your plate, they also bring along a host of potential problems for older adults, from medication interference to memory decline. If you're craving crunch and flavor, there are safer, more supportive options to choose from. Coming up next, we'll switch gears and focus on the best nuts to keep in your pantry, starting with one that's small but mighty. It supports your bones, soothes your joints, and just might become your favorite new habit. Get ready to rediscover the power of almonds.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 5. Almonds, your daily dose of strength. If there's one nut that deserves a daily spot in your routine after 65, it's the humble almond. Simple, reliable, and packed with nutrition, almonds are more than just a crunchy snack. They're a natural supplement for your bones, muscles, heart, and even your brain. In fact, for older adults looking to stay active, independent, and mentally sharp, almonds might just be one of the easiest and most powerful health boosters you can eat. Let's start with bones. As we age, especially past 65, our bone density naturally declines, faster in women due to hormonal changes after menopause. But almonds are rich in calcium and magnesium, a duo that helps maintain strong, dense bones and supports better balance. Just 1 ounce of almonds, about 23 nuts, contains around 76 milligrams of calcium. Not quite a glass of milk, but a solid dairy-free step in the right direction. Even better, magnesium helps direct that calcium into your bones and keeps it out of your arteries, where it can cause trouble. Let's meet Linda, a retired teacher from Oregon. At 68, she started feeling weaker on her morning walks, especially in her knees and hips. Her doctor recommended calcium supplements, but they upset her stomach. A friend suggested she try a more natural approach, almonds in her oatmeal and as a midday snack. Within 3 months, not only did her energy return, but her bone scan results showed improvement. "It's such a small thing," she said, "but it changed my mornings." Almonds are also a fantastic source of plant-based protein, nearly 6 grams per ounce, which helps preserve muscle mass. That's crucial for older adults who want to stay mobile and avoid falls. Add in their vitamin E content, a powerful antioxidant that protects nerve and muscle cells, and you've got a snack that truly supports the whole body. But the benefits don't stop there. The thin brown skin on almonds contains flavonoids that reduce inflammation and improve blood vessel flexibility. That means better circulation, lower blood pressure, and less swelling in your hands and feet. Almonds even contain soluble fiber, which aids digestion and helps keep things moving, something many seniors struggle with. The lesson here is simple. Strength doesn't always come from big changes. Sometimes it's one small, consistent habit, like eating a handful of almonds each day, that makes all the difference. And the best part? They're delicious, affordable, and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Try them raw, roasted, without added salt, or slivered over oatmeal, yogurt, or a salad. Up next, we're diving into a nut that's not just good for your body but exceptional for your brain. If almonds are the builders of strength, walnuts are the guardians of memory. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss this next brain-boosting superstar. Number 6. Walnuts, the brain-boosting nut that looks just like one. Have you ever noticed that a walnut looks a lot like a miniature brain? That's no coincidence. Nature has a funny way of giving us clues. Walnuts are often called brain food, and for good reason. For older adults, especially those hoping to stay sharp, steady, and mentally active, walnuts offer a powerful blend of nutrients designed to support memory, mood, and mental clarity. Let's start with omega-3s. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid. Just 1 ounce, about 14 halves, provides over 2.5 grams of ALA. These healthy fats help keep the membranes of brain cells flexible, making it easier for signals to pass between them. That means better focus, improved reaction time, and potentially even a lower risk of age-related memory loss. Take Mr. Thomas, a 73-year-old retired engineer from Boston. He used to laugh off his forgetfulness, misplaced keys, lost train of thought, mixing up names. But after his grandson teased him for forgetting a story mid-sentence, he decided to make a change. He added walnuts to his morning yogurt and committed to daily walks. After a few months, not only did he feel more mentally alert, but his mood improved too. It was like someone turned the lights back on, he said. Walnuts also contain powerful antioxidants, especially polyphenols, which help reduce oxidative stress in the brain. Over time, oxidative damage can dull memory and slow reflexes. But research shows that seniors who regularly consume walnuts tend to perform better on memory tests and decision-making exercises. And there's more. Walnuts contain the amino acid arginine, which helps relax blood vessels and improve circulation, including to the brain. Better blood flow means more oxygen, and nutrients reach your brain cells, helping you think more clearly and move with better coordination. Plus, they contain a small amount of melatonin, the natural hormone that regulates sleep. A few walnuts in the evening may even help you sleep more soundly. And we all know a rested mind is a sharper mind. So what's the lesson? Walnuts may be small, but they pack a mighty punch when it comes to supporting your brain and body. Try adding 3 to 4 walnut halves to your breakfast, salad, or snack routine. And remember, a little goes a long way, especially since they're calorie-dense. Coming up next, we'll explore a nut that not only supports your heart and eyes, but can actually help keep your hands steady and your spirits lifted. If you're looking for a snack that's both joyful and healing, you're going to love what's coming next. The colorful, crunchy world of pistachios. Number 7. Pistachios. Joy in a shell. There's something special about pistachios. Maybe it's their beautiful green and purple color, or the satisfying pop of opening the shell. Whatever it is, pistachios are more than just a fun snack. They're a nutritional powerhouse that supports heart health, eye health, and even fine motor skills. For older adults, pistachios aren't just delicious. They're delightful and functional. Let's start with the heart. Pistachios are one of the best nuts for cardiovascular health. Just 1 ounce, about 49 nuts, contains over 290 milligrams of potassium, a mineral that helps regulate blood pressure. As we age, our blood vessels become less elastic and more sensitive to sodium. Potassium works to counterbalance sodium, relaxing blood vessel walls and promoting better circulation, especially to the legs and feet where many seniors experience poor blood flow. They're also rich in healthy fats and antioxidants, including lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 nutrients that protect the macula of the eye. This part of the retina helps us recognize faces, read fine print, and maintain balance when walking. For anyone worried about vision loss or age-related macular degeneration, pistachios can be a tasty way to add eye protection to your diet. But here's something you might not expect. Shelling pistachios is actually good for your hands. The motion of opening each nut exercises the small muscles in your fingers and helps maintain hand-eye coordination. It may sound simple, but these kinds of gentle, repetitive motions can help preserve dexterity, an important factor in everyday tasks, like buttoning shirts, tying shoes, or writing notes. Let's meet Porcel, a 68-year-old retiree from New Mexico. She started snacking on pistachios during the pandemic, partly because their color made her smile. She found joy in the rhythm of shelling them while watching her favorite shows. Over time, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy improved, and her doctor encouraged her to keep up the habit. "They're my little green helpers," she joked. One more benefit? Pistachios can lift your mood. Their combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats helps stabilize blood sugar and prevent energy crashes, a common issue with sugary snacks. Plus, their natural crunch and cheerful color add a touch of brightness to your day. The key is to choose unsalted pistachios to avoid extra sodium and enjoy about 1 ounce per day. That's a generous 40 to 45 nuts, plenty to satisfy a craving and nourish your body. Up next, we'll shift our focus from individual nuts to something many of us buy without thinking: mixed nut blends. They may seem like a convenient choice, but not all mixes are created equal. Let's talk about the sneaky ingredients hiding in your favorite trail mix and how to build a healthier blend at home.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
Number 8. Nut mixes and sneaky additives to watch out for. Let's face it, nut mixes are convenient. They're easy to grab, easy to store, and often marketed as a healthy snack for people on the go. But for older adults trying to eat smarter, many of these store-bought blends can be more of a trap than a treat. Hidden sugars, excess salt, artificial flavors, and poor quality oils often sneak into those colorful packages, quietly undermining your efforts to stay healthy. Here's what to watch out for. First, check the ingredient list. A truly healthy nut mix should have no more than 3 to 5 ingredients, and every one of them should be something you recognize. If you see things like hydrogenated oil, corn syrup, or natural flavors, it's time to put that bag back on the shelf. These additives can raise blood pressure, spike blood sugar, and trigger inflammation, all things seniors want to avoid. Salt is another common culprit. Many commercial nut mixes are heavily salted, which might make them taste great in the moment, but can quietly raise your sodium levels and blood pressure over time. Seniors, especially those with hypertension or heart conditions, should aim to keep sodium intake under 1,500 milligrams per day. Just a few handfuls of salted mixed nuts can blow past that limit before lunch. Then there's the sugar. Ever notice those yogurt-covered raisins or chocolate-coated almonds in some mixes? They may seem harmless, but even small amounts of added sugar can lead to energy crashes, cravings, and weight gain, especially when your metabolism has slowed with age. And for those managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, these sweetened add-ons can cause dangerous blood sugar spikes. Let me tell you about Jim, a 75-year-old veteran from North Carolina. He thought he was making a smart switch when he replaced his chips with a nut mix from the grocery store. But after gaining 10 pounds in 3 months and feeling more tired than usual, his doctor pointed to the mix, loaded with sugar, sodium, and bad fats. Now Jim makes his own blend at home, unsalted almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and a few dried cranberries for a touch of natural sweetness. "I feel sharper and lighter," he said, "and it actually tastes better." So here's the lesson. Read the label, or better yet, make your own. Homemade mixes give you full control. No sneaky ingredients, just the good stuff your body actually needs. Start with raw or dry roasted nuts, unsalted. Toss in a few pumpkin seeds, and if you like a little sweetness, add a tablespoon of unsweetened dried fruit. Next up, we'll cover something most people forget about. How you store your nuts can make a big difference in how fresh and healthy they stay. Let's talk about keeping your nuts safe, tasty, and full of the nutrients your body needs. Number 9. How to store nuts to keep them fresh and safe. Here's a surprising truth. Even the healthiest nut can turn harmful if it's not stored properly. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to toxins and spoiled foods, and nuts, with their delicate oils, are especially vulnerable. If you're over 65 and keeping a stash of nuts in your pantry, it might be time for a little storage makeover. Nuts are rich in unsaturated fats, which are great for your heart and brain, but also very fragile. These fats can go rancid when exposed to air, light, or heat. When that happens, not only do the nuts taste bitter or off, but they also lose their health benefits and may create free radicals in the body, harmful molecules linked to inflammation, memory decline, and even some cancers. To avoid that, here's your simple storage guide. 1. Store nuts in airtight containers. Use glass jars with tight lids or BPA-free plastic containers. Avoid leaving them in the original bags once opened, especially if those bags aren't resealable. 2. Keep them cool and dark. Your best bet? The refrigerator. Most nuts will stay fresh for 4 to 6 months when kept cold. Even better, the freezer can preserve them for up to a year. Yes, nuts freeze beautifully without losing flavor or crunch. 3. Avoid heat and humidity. Don't leave nuts on the kitchen counter or near the stove, where heat and steam can speed up spoilage. High humidity can cause mold to grow, especially on peanuts and tree nuts like pistachios. 4. Label and rotate. Always write the purchase or storage date on the container. Use older nuts first and refresh your supply every few months. A simple sticky note can go a long way in keeping your kitchen organized and your snacks safe. Let's hear from Don and Arlene, a couple in their 70s from Michigan. They used to buy nuts in bulk and kept them in a decorative bowl on their counter. They looked pretty, Arlene laughed, but they started tasting funny after a few weeks. After learning about nut oxidation, they began refrigerating their almonds and walnuts in mason jars. Now they stay crisp and we feel better knowing we're actually getting the health benefits we were aiming for, Don said. The lesson? Freshness matters. A nut that's turned rancid might not make you sick right away, but over time, it can quietly work against your health. Proper storage is an easy fix, and one more way to treat your body with the care it deserves. Coming up next, we'll bring it all together in one final simple habit that can transform your daily routine. Just one handful a day, the right kind, in the right way, could be the key to stronger bones, clearer thinking, and more energy. Don't miss it. Number 10. The one handful habit that can change everything. What if one small handful, not a diet overhaul, not a pill, not an expensive treatment, could quietly support your bones, your brain, and your energy each day? For older adults, it's not just possible, it's powerful. Creating a daily nut habit, using the right kinds in the right amounts, can become one of the simplest yet most impactful things you do for your long-term health. Let's break it down. 1 ounce of nuts per day, about a small handful, is all it takes. That's around 23 almonds, 14 walnut halves, or 45 pistachios. This small portion is packed with nutrients like protein, calcium, magnesium, healthy fats, and antioxidants. It's enough to support muscle strength, reduce inflammation, promote heart health, and keep your mind clear without overwhelming your digestive system or your calorie intake. Meet Evelyn, a 76-year-old retired librarian from Vermont. She struggled for years with stiff joints in the morning and trouble remembering simple things like grocery lists. Her doctor suggested she try a Mediterranean-style snack habit, a few almonds with breakfast and some walnuts with a mid-morning tea. At first it felt like nothing, Evelyn admitted. But after about a month I was waking up with less pain, and my mind didn't feel as foggy. Now she keeps a small container of mixed nuts in her purse at all times, her daily dose of vitality, as she calls it. What's key is consistency. One day won't change much, but one handful a day, every day, builds a foundation over time. And when you replace less nutritious snacks like chips or cookies with almonds, walnuts, or pistachios, you're not just adding nutrients, you're subtracting inflammation-causing ingredients like added sugars, salt, and trans fats. Here's a simple guide. Morning. Add 10 to 12 almonds to your oatmeal or yogurt. Midday. Enjoy 3 to 4 walnut halves as a snack or in a salad. Afternoon. Treat yourself to 1 ounce of pistachios. In the shell, for a little fun and portion control. Mix and match to keep it interesting. Store your nuts properly, remember what we learned earlier, and try to choose raw or dry roasted, unsalted varieties for the best results. The lesson? Big results don't always come from big changes. Sometimes lasting health is built one small habit at a time, with care, consistency, and a handful of the right support. And now that you've learned which nuts to avoid and which to embrace, you're better equipped to nourish your body and mind and protect your independence for years to come. If this video has helped you, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel, and sharing your own story in the comments. What's your favorite nut? Have you noticed a difference since changing your snack routine? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take good care. And remember, Your best years can still be ahead, one handful at a time. As we grow older, it becomes clear that health isn't built on dramatic changes or quick fixes. It's shaped by the quiet, everyday choices we make. A single handful of the right food, a moment of thoughtful care, or a shift in awareness can create ripple effects that reach every part of our lives. The story of nuts, something so small and ordinary, teaches us a bigger lesson. Not everything that looks harmless is helpful, and not everything that's good for others is right for us. Especially after 65, our bodies deserve not just nourishment, but understanding. Choosing wisely, reading labels, and tuning into how food makes us feel can restore strength, protect our memory, and keep us walking through life with clarity and grace. These aren't just health tips. They're lessons in self-respect, in listening to our bodies, and in valuing ourselves enough to do what's best. Life in our later years isn't about restriction. It's about refinement. It's about protecting our independence and finding joy in the little things, like a crunchy almond or a clear-headed morning. Because health isn't just about living longer, it's about living better, one mindful moment at a time.
Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.